I am a victim of racism today. No bait, nothing, not even rage bait or not. We're gonna read a comment right here. A very mean comment made in a video I made where, context, Nicholas Light called me out, ... This crossed the line. The speed line. This is a video where I react to Nicholas Light reacting to many other reactors during One Punch Man reaction. And I give you my in-depth thought process about the current state of affairs with the One Punch Man fiasco. How content creators actually succeed better when there is negative engagement and controversies and dramas happening. Sometimes it's actually better for a show to be complete dog shit to continuously farm drama videos off of versus something being so peak that glaze doesn't hit as hard as hate. And I go in and give you a nuanced opinion about what's going on and that I don't play team sports. And people who go out of their way to drag this shit for negative engagement and that don't actually care about or understand the state of the animation industry, you are no different from the fucking woke feminist libtard that you condemn who changed their profile picture to the banner of a flag because they just realized some sort of human violation rights is happening on the other side of the planet. But it's just like, damn, this has been happening for all these years and you just found out and now you want to be performative and act like you're better than others. I give you that. And I think the video fucking banged. 11K views, baby. You want to see how much money I made from this? Who wants to see how much money I can make from an unedited video like this one? All I do is fucking hit the record button and boom, I fucking post that shit. Here we go. $9. You think I made $9? Oh, by the way, the racist comment is here. Summary of what this filthy Asian bastard said. We're going to get into that, but hold up. $2? $9? Come on, bro. This should be at least 20. This should be at least 20. So, let's look at it. Nicholas Light. This is the 11K, 12K. I think it should be like 20 bucks. Haha, not bad. Okay, all right. $35 Roni ain't bad, you know, for a 30-minute unedited cut where I just fucking slap a shitty thumbnail and fucking post it on YouTube. That's not so bad after all, is it? That ain't so bad. The best part, it's gonna continuously get views. But hey, we're not doing that, right? Wait, whoa. Hit the white room. We gotta play the fucking Unreal white room for this. Let's get locked in. Today's topic, racism. Racism against Asian people. And by the way, before we get started, I will never blame Nicholas Light for this. This is a video where I'm talking specifically about Nicholas Light's take about my opinions about One Punch Man. For a person who has one comment on this channel, I think the likelihood of this person being pro Nicholas Light and anti me because of my videos is pretty high. I think that it would be reasonable to assume that this could be even a fan of Nicholas Light. And if I wanted to be a disingenuous clout chaser, I would label myself as the victim of racism and that Nicholas Light is spreading hate towards me and my community, and now it's getting over the line due to racist remarks about Asian people, and this is fucked up. But that's not what I do. I'm not a fucking loser. Remember, I think that it's impossible to ever moderate every single person when you create content and grow to a certain size. I would never blame Nicholas Light for any of the hate that exists on this comment or any of the comments on this video, because at the end of the day, he and I see eye to eye, and that's what I care about. So let's get that fixated, okay? So we got Wa5 Worthia Sly? Worthia? I don't know. Summary of what this filthy Asian bastard said. And listen. Usually, like, I need you to understand, racism is something that I'm very used to. Believe it or not, I grew up in I was the only Asian kid growing up in my redneck town. I was surrounded by just white people. Basically, I had to survive in that environment. I'm not saying, oh, poor victim, but this is kind of very low tier racism compared to the shit that I grew up with. I was born in it, molded by it. You don't know racism like I do, right? But there's no need to bring in my specific heritage into this. You could have just said filthy bastard. And usually when I see racist comments, I'll just immediately block them and move on, because it's just like random slurs or just like phrases that you see on TikTok, right? It doesn't really matter. Sometimes racist jokes can be funny, blah, 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 right? But the fact that he actually cared enough to give his thoughts and ideas into it was like, all right, we can make a fucking video about it. Let's read this. Summary of what this filthy Asian bastard said. No content creator denies that they are benefiting, whether the anime is good or bad. And if it's bad, this actually benefits the creator much more. So I'm glad that he actually watched my video and understands that yes, we benefit if it's good or bad. In fact, if it's worse, it's better. And you critics of One Punch Man, your goal is the money you get from mocking the anime. Well, here's the thing. Immediately, this is dishonest. When have I ever said that every single person who is criticizing One Punch Man is bad faith actors? Never play into absolutes. I clearly distinguish the difference between actual valid, constructive, productive criticism in the right channels of communications to enact change, right? Like a person who is very frustrated that their fucking product sucked and therefore went back for a refund, versus a child who is screaming and shitting their pants in the middle of the grocery aisle because they're not getting what they want. I clearly separate the two. So obviously already this is very dishonest. And you critics of One Punch Man, your goal is the money you get from mocking the anime. Put your shoes in your mouth, shut up, and watch the anime in silence. Never said that. Point me to any specific point in my videos where I have ever labeled all criticism as bad and that everyone should just shut the fuck up and watch. No. In fact, if you actually watch my reactions, I think I'm very critical. I think that I point out a lot of the flaws and the things that makes me uncomfortable, and then I move on. Any people that drag that shit beyond and you're the equivalent of a fucking child shitting their pants in a grocery store, that's who I condemn. So already you are representing me in such a dishonest way that no one's gonna take you seriously. All right then, listen here, you son of a It's funny how like you censor like what is this? You didn't even add in enough stars to make this like seem like it's bitch. What is this 3-letter word? At least like add in 2 more. So it's bitch. It's just what bit? Bus? Boo? Boy? Whatever. Let's see what he has to say. Content creators cannot deny that they benefit from the anime, whether it's good or disgusting like you. Ooh. And they can't deny that if it's disgusting, that it will give them high views and strong engagement in their channels. You're repeating what I said, okay. But that doesn't mean they want it to be bad for personal benefit, emoji. No sane person would think that way, you idiots. So I think that this is a very, again, misguided, uninformed understanding how internet works. There are plenty of people that don't give a fuck about One Punch Man, that just know that it's got a lot of clout, they bandwagon, and then they look at what people are saying. What is the popular narrative? And then they go with that because they have no opinion of themselves, and they grift ideas that are profitable, that they don't believe in, and actually hope that things will stay that way because if the anime gets better, the grift ends. Now you have to actually acknowledge that it was good, but if you do that, you've been audience captured. Because people that you farmed the haters. And now if you go against that narrative, it's disadvantage for you as content, as money making. This is just pure logic. There absolutely are people who do that for personal benefit. And you know what? The fact that you exist as a person who watch my videos and then just straight up lie about what I said and then add like a racial remark to do it's not even a character assassination to add Asian remarks of Asian heritage. It's just you're just lying. So the fact that like you exist, I think, is a more unlikely outcome than people, content creators, who hope that One Punch Man is gonna continue to be shit so they can keep farming the content for the money. It just makes sense. Season 3 of the anime is filthy, and that's all they're saying. And you know what? If you actually watch my videos, when have I ever said Season 3 One Punch Man was actually good? Like overall, the entire season. There's moments that I'll say good, and there's many more moments where I say it's bad. Overall, one single good episode doesn't salvage the season. I'm just happy that the episode was good recently, and all the episodes before, if you actually watch my videos, you'd understand that, yeah, I think it's fucking garbage. So who are you arguing with right now? As for intentions, only God knows them. Don't interfere in people's intentions, you dirty fool. Who talks like this? like this. It sounds so like, I don't know. This is definitely not a white person, that's for sure. I feel like this is like, well, not like an American person. I feel like this is somewhere in Europe. Maybe somewhere in the Middle East. Maybe South Asia? I don't know. I feel like I've heard these type of like wording and phrasing of, you fool, you filthy animal. Only God knows them. Don't interfere in people's intentions. But like, you are then interfering in my intention. Like, again, if you're going to be like saying all this shit, at least be aware of your actions. You are literally condemning me, like interfering in people's intentions. Like, okay. So as for intentions only, like, so you're asking like intentions of like why people would do this. I'm giving you a very rational and logical like conclusion of how content creators behave, because I too am a content creator who have studied other content creators. And there has been many people who actually do grift. So this is a very sensible, like rational conclusion and an analysis I'm giving you of people who make videos for money. You don't make content. You have no understanding of industry. And then you come in here about like, ask for intentions, only God knows them. I'm giving you the intentions. But you're saying that you're so retarded that you can't figure out yourself, and that me giving you the state of affairs is like blasphemous, and that only God should know that. What kind of retardation is this? And don't try to convince me. By the way, I never try to convince these people. There's a reason why I don't argue in the comment section, right? Like, I think that you can't reason people out of a position that they didn't reason themselves into. Like, basically what I'm saying is, when you see a dog barking on the side of the road, are you gonna argue with the dog? Well, if your eye shows speed, maybe you're gonna go bark at it for content. It's funny, right? But when a dog is barking the side of the road, I'm gonna walk away, because that's an animal. And the animal's not gonna understand my intentions. But the difference between that dog and this commenter, you, is the fact that I can pet the dog. There's some utility, there's some nice like feedback loop there. What the fuck are you good for? Making content out of, actually. I actually love people like this. A lot of people, you know, when they get death threats or racist, you know, insults thrown at them, it fucks with their mental health and they go on breaks and hiatuses because they're not built like me. I'm a fucking monster. I live for this shit. I want you to exist. I want you to make more alt accounts and prove to me how stupid you are so I can make a video and break it down on exactly why you're retarded and then call you retarded. Then I'll make money for it. You are essential. You are part of the food chain, and I love people like this. And don't try to convince me that the anime is good and that all humans around the world are wrong. I've never said that. I never said the anime is good. I said that there's moments of good, and there's more moments of bad, and that people are free to criticize it, but there's bad faith actors like you who act as if things exist in absolutes and make it worse for yourself. In fact, what did I just say in the women's right video? Bad faith actors who act in absolutes try to pretend like they're heroes of justice, but at the same time, reasonable, sensible people, when they see videos like this of me nitpicking on the most vocal minority retards, you undermine your own position and you actively hurt your own campaign. This is probably one of the worst ways that you could try to come at me and to prove that, like, see, one frame man haters were right all this time. It's just like you're just retarded. While you filthy whore, you dog, are the only one who understands. Yes, you're right. Thank you. I appreciate that. You have opinions, but the React Messiah has fact. I'm glad that you acknowledge that. You're right. Everyone is delusional. No one knows what the fuck they're talking about. But me, the React Messiah, my opinions are facts. There's a difference between your opinion and my opinion. There's a reason why you're crying in my video, while I get to break this down and call you a retard and make money off of you. And that's the best part. Many people will say, oh, you think you're just right because you got the viewership? Because you're a content creator? You think your words have any value? I think they do. The fact that you are in my comment section crying and proving myself right. And by the way, this is the best thing that can happen for me, right? One of the best ways to do community building exercises and to like rally on my troops, my army of monkeys, is stuff like this. The most schizo retards that just lie, that can be immediately debunked. I make fun of them. People in the chat says, based. All the drama frogs are like, yes, we got more slob content. And then their understanding of me are like, yeah, base guy, base guy. And then I grow even more. My stance and my positions get more solidified while you crash out like a fucking monkey. And it's like the best thing, again, that could ever happen. Now, normal people will most likely kind of ignore this and move on because this is kind of dangerous. You are playing with fire because at the end of the day, you know, if you can't like shield your mentality, your mental strength with a strong armor like me, it erodes you. You like will become cynical and jaded and fucked up. But here's my secret. I was always cynical and jaded. I live for this shit. I'm a fucking monster. I love this shit. Go fuck yourself, you motherfucker. The anime is crap, whether you like it or not. You and I are on the same page here. I don't know why you're so confused about this, but I understand. You're missing a couple, you know, couple chromosomes. You little Asian pig. Middle finger. Middle finger. Do you guys think that this is racist? Do you guys think that this is racist? I think a lot of time people use racism and misogyny and phobic this, phobic that to act as the victim, to demonize other and be the crybaby. I hate that shit. I hate it. What is racism? I think racism is when you discriminate and think that you're superior or that others are worse based on the color of a skin or like the culture you're from, right? This guy could have simply called me a retard, right? He could have simply called me a pig. He could have called me just a filthy bastard. But I feel like the part of adding Asian into it, it adds in this racial context. And if you could convey your messages the same way without the racial context and you intentionally included it, and if the subject of your message is negative, I can only conclude that you are hating me because I'm an Asian person with ideas that makes you feel uncomfortable. Because I speak the truth and it makes you, I'm confronting your worldview, and in your fragile ego, you can't comprehend what I'm saying. I think that a lot of sensible people watch this video and the ratio of the likes and the dislikes is quite accurate to what most people are thinking. For example, Ka is Ryuk, Nicholas Light is Yagami. I like that example. The second I saw Nicholas's video, I knew you'd make this. It's like you're playing tennis, but the tennis ball is just content. Infinite money farm glitch for both Nicholas and Kaka. Dude extended a 3-minute clip into a 30-minute video. Well, right now I just extended one fucking comment into almost a 20-minute video. Can't wait for the sequel. Ka reacting to Nick, reacting to Ka, reacting to Nick, reacting to Ka, reacting to the episode Infinite Money Glitch. Shout outs to the Snickers. I will feature you in every time I do these videos. Why? Because you're my Asian boyfriend. You know, personally, most of the hate One Punch Man, but there was some other comment here too, right? Right here too. This is a very funny comment. You know what? I might hate you, but I learned something from you. And you know what, Andrew? I'm glad. I'm unexpected W. Unexpected W. I'm glad that like you are basically able to follow my ideas and suggestions. What is that? No matter how much you may hate a person due to whatever irrational bias you have, you should listen to the ideas and the words being spoken and confront those ideals. Rather than letting the bias, this perception that you've made up, because someone you hate has said something, you can never agree with it, no matter how true those words may be, you are able to separate that and listen to the logic, and that is enlightened. That is a good monkey. However, this right here, this is just a racist monkey, man. This is a textbook example of a racist person who is so dishonest, who is so wrong about everything that they say. Immediately, I will deconstruct every lie that you said. Please prove me wrong. There's not a single point that you can clip me out of context where I label everybody in absolutes. You are an actual racist person, and you know what? I'm gonna be a Karen right now. Usually I'll just block them like this, but no, we're gonna report. I'm gonna report, bro. Sexual content? Nope. Violent? Nope. Hateful or abusive? Maybe. Harassment, bullying? Nope. Which one should it be, guys? Is it hateful or abusive content or harassment and bullying? I feel like this is hateful, right? Thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to block you too. That's pretty much it. And you know what? I hope you make an alt account. I hope you make an alt account and then write more schizo fanfic and try to tell me how bad of a person I am. Because every single time that you try to do this, thinking this is how you get me canceled, the more that I appear based to my audience and the more that they eat this shit up, and then the more that I fucking profit, baby. See you next time.